I can't believe we are already into February, but here we are, so let's take a little tour of my California garden. In this bed right here, I recently sowed some red clover, not for a cover crop, but for tea. I have tons of volunteer nasturtium popping up, which is so nice because they really are a nice flower to have in the garden. This is my strawberry guava tree. It's putting out some fruit. It fruited the first year I got this tree, but not last year, which I read is common. The tree is young, so I wasn't worried about it, but it looks like I will get some fruit off of it this year. My dried flowers are starting to ramp up again, but I will be sowing some more seeds for dried flowers very soon. I have a white mulberry tree and a Pakistani mulberry tree to be potted up. I have another container that I need to empty out for this one. And then over here, I have a third mulberry tree. This is an everbearing mulberry, and I'll be refreshing the soil in all of these containers and getting them in these containers very soon. My artichoke plants are doing really well. I have 2 artichoke plants, but then I also have tons of oxalis that just really needs to get cleared out before these artichoke plants get any bigger. But I am really excited for these artichoke plants, and I hope I get a lot this year. And I still have some tomato plants in, and they are still producing. Not a lot though. I know I should pull them, but they seem to be pushing through, so I am curious to see how far they will go. I did sow some cover crops kind of in between the plants so I can add more nutrients back into the soil. And then under here, I have some sweet pea flowers that I am trying to protect from the squirrels, but they are growing so slowly. I think they are stunted, so at this point I won't be counting on them this year, but we'll see how they fare. The borage plant in this bed is really taking over. I sowed a seed in here over 2 years ago, and it finally started to grow in the late summer, and it's just really gaining some major growth. I have been kind of trimming some of the leaves back and putting them into the soil. I'll work all of this into the soil later. Then under these trays, I have my Asian greens and kale and spinach that I am trying to protect from the squirrels. They seem to be doing pretty well, and it looks like I can harvest some baby greens pretty soon from most of them. A few weeks ago, I picked up this gooseberry plant. The tag says it's practically thorn-free, but I don't know, there's tons of thorns on this one, so I am going to plant it near this rose bush since it's another thorny plant, so hopefully it being in this area, I won't accidentally brush up against it. Under here, I have some freshly sown radish seeds as I just harvested some a few days ago, and of course I'm trying to protect them from the squirrels. And the shishito peppers in this planter look bad, but if you look closely enough, you can see some new growth, which is exciting. My other pepper plants are doing the same thing pretty much. I'll prune off some of the parts that don't look great to allow the new growth to come through. I also tucked some spare garlic cloves I had here in the bed, and they are all popping up. The citrus trees are all doing well. I am going to get a lot of them potted up into wine barrel planters and move them to my front yard to line my driveway, but I am going to put a lemon tree and a grapefruit tree in the ground over here in this area once I clear this space out really well. I have yet again more oxalis over here that needs to be cleared out, but the volunteer flower patch is doing well, and I'm sure it will look great this spring. I have various peas that should be harvested. I should have harvested this one sooner since it looks like something has munched on it a little bit. This is the Oregon Giant, and then I have golden sweet and sugar magnolia peas as well. The stone fruit trees are continuing to wake up and come out of dormancy, but most are young trees, so I don't expect most of them to fruit this year. The blueberry plants are putting out flowers, and I can't wait to harvest more blueberries this year. Last year I had smaller harvests, but this year looks like it'll be a good year for blueberries. Moving along to the front yard, I recently transplanted this cordyline or tea plant. I picked it up for free at a local plant exchange stand, and it looks like a squirrel or something dug where I planted it, and I'll have to fill that in a little bit later, but I'm really excited for this pop of color in my front yard. And my poppy and sunflower volunteers are all still growing. I cannot wait to see what this looks like when everything's in bloom. And over here, my red aeoniums are just going off right now. They look so nice and lush. These really add a nice touch to the garden. I have some seed starting trays filled and ready to go. I'm not exactly sure what I will be planting in all of these just yet, but it's that time of year where I am always sowing some kind of seed. Thanks for joining me on this little garden tour. I can't wait to show you the garden in another month because this time of year, things change really fast.